In this video, I'm going to show you how to write classes in C++ programming language. First of all, let's write a simple program which will calculate area of a rectangle. I'm going to use variables int len, which is equal to 10, and int width, which is equal to 5. And then I'm going to write a function, calculate area, that will calculate area of the rectangle. So here I'm not going to pass parameters to the function. Let's use cout and length into width. So this function will compile, but it will not display anything because we haven't written the main method for this program. So if we want to display the output, we will have to run the program. To run the program, we have to write the program entry point, which is named as the main function. In addition to this place, I'm going to add inline as well. Then the output will be clearly displayed. And then I'm going to write the main function. Within the main function, I can call the function I have written above as calculate area. So now when we run the program, it will display area of the rectangle. So here if we want to mention what is displaying, let's say area is, keep a space now, and then we have area is 50. Now let's see how to write this within a class structure. Class rectangle when we write a class, the things within the class should belongs to the class. For an example, here the content I have written inside this class rectangle belongs to the rectangle. That's why I have given the name as rectangle. For an example, if you write a class named as student, content in between these two curly braces, that means should be relevant to the student. Now let's see what will happen when we run this program. When we run the program, there's a warning which says all member functions in class rectangle are private. So what I want to show you is, just a while ago, without line number 3 and line number 10, that means without this class structure, this code worked fine. But now when we use this class structure, it says these things are private. That means by default, when we use the class structure, the members of this class becomes private. Members means these variables and this function. For these two variables we call member variables and this function we call member function. When we want to make this public, we have to use the access modifier which is named as public. We can write public like this and we have to use colon. That means the lines which are stated hereafter will be public. So this will be this length, this width, as well as the function calculate area will be public. That means all these three members will have public access. I think you have an idea about this access modifiers. When we say public, that is accessible from anywhere. When we say private, it will not be accessed outside the class. So when we do not write anything here within a class, if you have nothing, that means all the members, member variables as well as member functions by default becomes private. If you want to make it public, you will have to use public here at the beginning. So whatever you have after that line will belongs to public access. And if you want to make something private, you can use something like this. If you put this private here, that means this void calculate area is private. I'm going to remove this private line for now and I'm going to run this program. Now we have another problem. In these two lines, line number 6 and line number 7, I have initialized this length and width with values 10 and 5, which is a non-constant. Therefore, I'm going to remove that initialization part and I'm going to give length and width later when I'm going to use this class. So here so far what I have is I have a rectangle class with length and width and then a function which calculates the area of the given rectangle. I haven't initialized this length and width, but here I have used that to calculate the area. So where can I give the values to this length and width? This is the place where I'm going to use this rectangle class. I have a rectangle class which can do things related to rectangle, calculation of area is a function of that rectangle class, and also it has two variables which are called length and width. Therefore, I can assign values to that length and width and then calculate the area using the calculate area function. When I want to do some task, I have to use main function. Here within the main function, I have already written calculate area, which I used before when we were running this program without this class structure. So when it was without the class structure, it looked like this. But now I'm going to modify this main method with the values which should be set to length and width of the rectangle. So I'm going to add a few lines. Here I have to have a link between this main method as well as this rectangle class. This is how I connect these two. I'm going to create an object. The type of the object is rectangle, which is same as the name of the class. So this is the type of the object I'm going to create. It is similar to the name of the class. And then I'm going to give the name. I'll give the name rec and use semicolon here. And here I have created an object. The type of the object is rectangle. The name of the object is rec. This object is just like this class. This is the type. That means this rec object contains all the things which are included within this rectangle class. Therefore, I can access length and width through this rectangle object. Next line, I'm going to use rec dot length. That means the length of the rec object. In line number 15, what we did was we created an object, and in line number 16, we are going to use that rec object. And here I am using rec object and its length. I'm going to assign value as 10. And next line I'm going to use rec object width of the rec object. It is set to 5. Once I have done these two, look at the next line which was there before. How we call the function before was calculate area, but now we cannot directly call that calculate area because we do not have the link between. Let's see. When we try to run the program, it says implicit declaration of function int calculate area. So we need to use the link we have created. What is the link we have created? The link we have created is rectangle object. So I'm going to use that rectangle object I have already created, which is named as rec. So rec.calculate area should be there, and then when we run the program, again it will display area is 50. So here what you have to remember is the things we include within the class should be relevant to the class. And in the main method, I have to create a link to this rectangle class. To do that, I have used rectangle object, which is rec, so that rec object can be used to refer this rectangle class. When we say rec dot, all the members can be called. Rec dot length, length is a member, width is a member, calculate area is a member. Therefore, all such members can be called like this. If you have another member, for an example, calculate perimeter, then you can use rec.calculate perimeter. Like that, we can call whatever the members you have within the rectangle class. So this is how we write classes in C++ programs.